Perfect.
Okay. So this allows me to set up different profiles, and this is going to be different like chirp stack servers that I'd want to manage, right? And so I can go through, I can set one active, and then under a particular one, I can go in, edit, I can test the connection, which is I thought was neat, to make sure that everything's set up right. You're on the right port. You know, you've got TLS set up correctly,
Oh,
and then
sorry.
I can go.
Let me ask. Uh, the profile is a like a login for the chirp stack, or it's a device?
It's going to be not a device. It's going to be a chirp stack server login. And
Got it.
so this is TrackPack. This is Neil's setup. This is for open, right? And so you're going to use your API token here,
Uh-huh.
and you with that token and with the address port, um, it'll jump on. You can then do an auto discover, and if you're an admin with that API token, then it'll give you a list of all your tenants,
Yeah. Okay.
and then you can go down and mode. This is why I initially wrote this, and this is completely optional. Like in the core of LoRACK, it allows you to do like device creation, management, whatnot. But the mode is what I needed to allow for to process things on the server on my server side. But it's completely optional, and if you don't want to use it, it never touches my servers. It's just your handheld and
Hmm.
whatever chirp stack endpoint that you're touching. And so I don't mess with anything there. But I can have
Oh, cool.
multiple tenants per profile. And so if I have several tenants on one server that I want to show off, I can do that. And then
Hmm.
I go into applications, right? And so this is for that one profile that I have. I go to H Town, um, and I can go this device. And I've got something like this is overdue for a check-in because of the
Hmm.
cadence of this device. I should have heard from it by now.
Right.
But I can go here and I can see just generic information, activation details about the device. I can then go through edit it. I can share this through whatever the your platform, your handheld does for sharing. I can go to health, and this goes through and, for example, signal. It'll go through it with my RSSI and SNR, and
Hmm.
just tell me a little bit about this metric, right? And give me a score on it. And then using these four metrics, it gives you overall health of the device. And I can do predictive battery failure times, and so I can say, okay, what devices am I going to have to replace the battery on in the next 3 months? And it'll tell you this. If I and then I've got some other metrics here, link budget analysis, calculations, and then
Hmm.
just are my packets making it through? How many gateways are hearing this sensor? What's
Oh, cool.
what does my coverage look like? And is am I using ADR? And it will give me recommendations like say, hey, your spreading factor, it really makes sense if this has changed. Um, this is very handy to use in addition to a Glamos device because I have this thing called downlink, right? And this is just a downlink queue. But I can say,
Hmm.
okay, I want to send a command, and I've got a library that I can maintain where I say, okay, I want to reboot device command push down. Okay, straight up, all firmwares do not support these things.
Right.
In
Yeah. Downlinks
new,
are unique.
yeah, and in new spec, certain things are enabled and part of the spec that a lot of sensors just are not going to support. But this allows me to maintain this library myself. So I can go to my command library, and if I know that I'm using these or this custom firmware that supports these downlinks, then I can enter those, and then they're available to be pushed to any of my devices. If I go to drill, this allows me to drill into something, so I can see like link metrics. I have charting here
Hmm.
for just, I mean, this is just basic SNR, RSSI, and then my RX package. I can go into frames, which allows me to see my uplinks, my downlinks, my acts,
Hmm.
kind of hence the name of
You
this
have the
app.
copy button there too. Yeah.
Yeah, I can copy this,
That's
and then it kind of
very
breaks it
handy.
down.
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
bottom. But if I just want to copy this, I can do that.
Yeah.
And then I can, I have my events and my frames just like you would in the web, back in a church stack.
Wow.
Um, and then if I go up here, okay, say I have a guy on the ground and this is actually deployed somewhere where I'm not going to be, then I can add info. This could be a picture of my contact. This could be a picture of the device. And if it's a contact over here, then I can enter like my WhatsApp. I can enter my Telegram, and it's going to automatically generate a Jitsi link. And so
Mm.
I can do a video conference with my guy on the ground just using this, and it's going to retain that room name, and so
Yep.
that's what I can always use when I'm talking to my crew on the ground there, which is neat.
That's cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
because it was a big pain point that I felt working with Open, because Open's in what I don't know 15 different countries now,
Hmm.
and it's often difficult to I mean, with power outages, with sometimes connectivity, just to be able to talk to someone who actually has hands on the equipment, where you can actually say, hey, this looks like this is what's going bad, right? And so the goal here was to kind of combine some type of AI assisted troubleshooter with a form of contact, and to the people who actually are on the ground working on something, and the info can be accessed here as well. Um, but and then you can add devices, I mean, just some of the general things you would expect in ChirpStack. But one thing that I always wanted was something like this, where I could filter and sort my devices in ChirpStack. Like, I just want to see my inactive, if something's been
Mm.
down for a week, I want to be able to see that and boom, okay, those are the two devices out,
Hmm.
that of this application H town that I'm in that
Hmm.
have been down, right? And then I can clear this. I can also go over to just my direction on my sorting.
Just
It's a little handier to use with your left hand and thumb,
sure. Yeah.
being able to kind of filter by this. So,
This is
um,
very cool. This is a lot of
well,
stuff.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
100%
Um,
Also,
is.
like some of these are just like great features that should just go upstream to ChirpStack. Like
I,
that
I,
filter is
you
a
know,
huge deal. Yeah.
Yeah, this I can say open in Earth, and it opens it up in Google Earth, and so I can see
Oh,
exact.
cool.
If I have shape files that have all my other deployment, shit about the deployments in place, then yeah, I've got them loaded in as KML files within Earth,
Mm.
and it pulls it up right there, so I can see that. I thought that was handy. And then the troubleshooter, what I did, this part of this was server side. This is all running client side. Like I said, if
Mm.
you don't want to use the mode stuff, you're not touching my servers. This is just you, your device, and your chirp step. So it's really not touching anything I have. And what I'm wanting to do here is just kind of open this up, and then have it so the mode stuff can be added on, and or you could write something using the mode kind of modular infrastructure and plug into this. But I don't know, feedback appreciated. But oh yeah, you could theme it. um,
Got it. Yeah.
but the command library, this is what I was talking about earlier for the downlinks. And then
Hmm.
if you want to import export, I'm not touching your contact list. It's all just a JSON import export, and that will do all your photos of devices, of ground contacts, of all your
Mm.
contact information. This opens up Telegram, it opens up WhatsApp, it opens up Jitsi directly from within this. And yeah, okay, I am going to talk about this. This is part of mode though. This is data contribution. And this allows you to scrub all of your data for PII, because I don't
Mm.
want your PII. I want you to be able to share information from your LNS that allows it goes into the AI troubleshooter and allows everyone using the system to have smarter models to troubleshoot and diagnose what's wrong with the damn devices, right? And so, but I don't want to be giving away my location. I don't want to be giving away a lot of identifiable metrics that don't
Okay.
really help
So
the model, right? And so this allows me to go through and say, okay, this is how I want to share this. This is what I want to share. It allows me to upload. I can see my contributions here, and I can contribute. This will, push that up. I can go back and see where do we go under federated learning. And so if I participate, this is what I have to do in order to start contributing. This explains your privacy epsilon, right? And I tried to kind of simplify what this actually means here, but I go through a number of things to clean up the data, to obfuscate some of the data where you don't need exact metrics on where something's located, right? In order to gain the benefit of the AI troubleshooting. I try to explain everything in terms that kind of make sense here. This is a privacy
hardest part.
budget that runs. But yeah, I mean, just you want to control PII. I don't want someone's PII, but I do want them to be able to contribute to like a crowdsourced, collective model that makes the troubleshooting better. So whoever's in the field can hopefully get some advice on what's wrong with the sensor, and not have to spend more time than is necessary on something. So. Um, Anyway, that's one part of the mode, and that's what I was initially writing this for. I just had to kind of framework some stuff up around ChirpStack in order to make it where I could actually do the privacy stuff. So
Cool.
yeah, so that's the
I,
basically what it
I'm
does,
kind of
man.
blown away. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a lot in
that's
there.
amazing.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. Like I say, I've been working on it a little bit. I've been learning a lot lately, so which is always fun, right? So
Yeah.
thanks for taking a look, guys.
Well, on that
This
topic, uh, when test flight, how do we start playing around with this thing? Is it
Uh,
in the App
test
Store already?
It's not. It's not. I haven't gotten that far, but I do have test flight up and operational. And so, if you would like to test with me, hit me up. I'm pretty easy to find, I think, around here. So
Excellent.
and yeah, I'll I guess I just need an email for what you
Yep.
use in test flight, and I'll get you added in. And like I say, hopefully. I can get this up on both, and I know I'm showing it on Apple here, but I started this on Android. That's I'm trying to balance the two, but I'm not a full-time app developer. That's not really what I do. But I've been putting some time into kind of learning best practices here. So, but wanting to bring more people into this, I want to make it a platform so you can easily kind of extend it or um, uh, like I say, I'm not talking shit about ChirpStack. I love ChirpStack.
Yes.
Um, but it was just a pain point for me, the mobile aspect of it. So
Yeah.
that's
I
where
mean,
this kind of came from.
I've dreamt of building a mobile UI for ChirpStack for years at this point and have not done it. So this is it, yeah,
Hey, the
hits
advantage
close
of
to home.
Android is you can run it pretty much everywhere except on iOS. You can run APKs in Windows, you can run them in Linux, you can run them on your mobile phone. You can even, if you work a lot, you can even run them in a shitty RISC-V CPU. That will take a bunch of work, but it would work.
I gotta say,
Wait,
one thing I like about the Apple development is you write for, and then it'll run on my Apple Silicon notebook. I
That's
thought
true.
that was pretty slick, man. Yeah.
Hey, but technically you can also run APKs on your Apple Silicon, no? The newer one at least.
Run what on it?
APKs.
APKs.
Oh. I don't know. I haven't messed with that. I guess you can.
I
I,
mean,
I
I
know
mean, it's ARM, you know.
I know
Leo, what
Apple
were you
moved
saying?
to a
You're
different packaging manager, right? Or a different package that you have to build, so they're not doing raw APK uploads. They
Hmm.
want a different packaging format for the Apple Store. Um, hmm.
So what were you saying you're running on Risk 5? I missed the first part of that.
Sorry, what?
What did you say you could run on a Risk
I mean,
5 with
technically, if you put a lot of work into it, a lot of work into it, you could run an APK on Risk 5.
APK? Okay, got it. I
Yeah.
I have a Risk 5 dev board sitting on my desk and I have not decided where I'm going to dive in yet. I
I,
don't think
I'm
it's
not.
going to be that though.
I'm not sure the one you have on you is powerful enough to run an APK, but there are some Risk 5 CPUs out there that can do it. They're expensive, but
Yeah. Huh, okay.
Just because you can doesn't mean. No.
Doesn't
Um,
mean it's worth the time. Yeah.
hey, let me throw an idea out there though. That I it's something that I was kind of playing around with. If I could have the functionality of what I just kind of showed off running on like a little touchscreen ESP device, because basically you're making API calls, man. You know,
Hmm.
you're really I like some of the troubleshooting stuff is crunched on device, but really most of it is going to be cloud side built, or it's just going to be calling TripStack APIs.
Hmm.
You know the little ESP32s with the rotary encoders on them.
Hmm.
Um, it's the T embed by Liligo.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think that would be I mean they have a tiny screen on them, but they have that
Oh yeah.
what yeah, a rotary encoder with a that's clickable. I think you could put something like this into a pretty neat little just kind of throwaway device that has keys on it securely, hits your you'd have to do TLS, right? But
Hmm.
I think I'd use something if I had something in my pocket, for $100 that allows me to see status on all my TripStack devices. But if I lost it, it was like, I mean, it's
Right.
not disposable. That's not what I mean, as far as but just
Yeah, I mean it's some bucks, but like, yeah.
it's losable.
Um, I mean, I'm starting to find myself to be a really big fan of hardware dedicated to stuff like this. Like,
Yeah,
I I showed this off a while back, but it's that um, Seed Studio e-ink thing,
yeah,
and I programmed it for this one thing. I thought I would change it, but it's just been really nice having some stats just hanging on my wall. Um,
yeah.
oh, I need to charge it down to
And they have those
1%.
in color e-inks as well. I believe Seed does.
Yeah, this is the
Oh,
whole
it is
setup is
color.
in color.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I
Nice.
didn't
Very
take
cool.
full advantage of it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
it seems the more and more that I think what's important, Joey, when you're doing stuff like when you're building, is to build what you need. That fills the gap for and not try to build something and convince someone else, that they need it. I think and maybe that's just the easy path is building what you need, but build what you need, and um, I don't know. If you put your time in on that rather than convincing someone else that that they need what you're building, it's at least been a lot more enjoyable for me.
totally. Yeah, I can tell this like the way you approached it. Um, I mean, just even to, before you hopped off and rejoined, like you sort of called it a mobile experience for ChirpStack, and like that in and of itself solves a need. But then like the filtering around like inactive devices, things like that, those are just clearly like quality of life improvements for the experience.
Well, and I'm excited. I'd love your feedback because I know like with UX, I mean you got the skills, man, and I know that I really I break a lot of rules on UX here, and you're just like, why? I think you mentioned something the other week. Like, why is this button? That does people will never find that button. It does. It's not. It doesn't really make sense, or what people are used to, what people are expecting as to an
Oh yeah, yeah,
interface.
yep,
Uh,
yep, yeah. No, that's always a challenge, but happy to help.
cool. I
Well,
appreciate it, man.
cool. I didn't think we'd get the full rundown of the thing today, so I'm excited we got to get into that.
Yeah, I'm on vacation, so why not?
Nice. That's when the best building happens. So,
True.
cool. I feel like we should wrap it up there. That was a perfect little IoT experience thing. Kind of keeps the theme going.
Well, thank you for your time, everyone. And like I say, hit me up if you want to test or anything, or tell me I'm doing something wrong. So,
I can shoot you
um,
an email right now.
cool. All right.
All right. Well, thank you all. Happy holidays to everyone. I think Hanukkah started today or yesterday. Christmas is next week. It's a busy
Schedule.
time of
Are
year.
we are this next week? I think the schedule changes. Or
I think, yeah. So we're taking next 2 weeks off. I think. Let's see. Let me
okay.
look at this. And then structural changes probably due sometime in January for our call here. Um, I will follow up directly with just like in our IoT chat,
Great.
and we'll
Cool.
figure it out from there.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, man.
Cool. All right. Thanks all.
All right.
Adios,
Happy
folks.
holidays. Bye bye.